Alright, so what I'll do is I'll create a new project, day 3. Okay, and we will study about the concept of interfaces now and how it is used in Selenium. We'll see that. Okay, just hold on, I'll add the jar files of Selenium as well in the project. Okay, fine. Now what I'll do is in the source folder, right click and create a new interface. Alright, so earlier we were creating a new class. Now I will create a new interface. Fine, and probably we'll create a very simple interface like phone. Okay, so this is the phone interface, right? Now this gets created public interface phone. Now what is an interface? Okay, interface is like an outline, right? It tells you what the application is supposed to do. For example, when you go to a restaurant to have food, okay, you have the a la carte menu in front of it. So that menu is like an interface which tells what the restaurant is offering to you. Okay, or suppose if you are buying a book, right, you open the book and you see the first page wherein all the chapters on the book are mentioned. So that is again an interface. The index page is like an interface wherein you have the complete information about the book and the contents of the book. Okay, so similarly phone, you can keep it as an interface, and in the interface you'll define the functions like this. Say public void call. So this is one function. Then public void text. This is another function. So in the interface you just have the declaration of the functions. You don't have any function bodies. Okay, interface will just have the declaration. That's it. Right, just by looking at the interface you can say that what phone is performing. Phone can perform two functions, call and text. Okay, fine. Now what if I create a new class over here? I'm creating a new class called as Nokia. Fine, so I'll write over here public class Nokia implements phone. Okay, now when you write implements phone, right, then Nokia class is actually, it gets bound to implement all the functions inside the phone interface. Okay, right now call and text functions are there inside the phone interface, right? So if I write class Nokia implements phone, then Nokia class will have to implement both the functions. You move your mouse over this error and select add unimplemented methods, so you'll get these two methods coming up, call and text. Each of these methods has got this written in front of it, @override, right? This is technically known as annotation. Fine, technically this is known as an annotation, right? It's not compulsory to have it, you can remove it as well. Okay, but we have it so that when a layman looks at my code, okay, he should be able to understand. When he looks at this annotation, he'll understand that fine, this function is coming from the phone interface. So these two functions, they get implemented in this Nokia class, and both these call and text functions, they get the body as well, right? So out here I can write something like this, that is, say Nokia calling, right? Similarly Nokia text. Okay, when you got it right. So what I did was I made one interface, okay, and two classes were directly implementing those interfaces. That interface, sorry, only one class right now. I'm really sorry. Only one class is implementing the interface. I made one interface and one class which implemented that interface. Okay, right? When it implemented all the functions. Now similarly, if I make a new class, say I'll create a class, say iPhone. Alright, so over here also you can write, is my voice breaking? Is it? Ruchika, I hope you have a good internet speed. Okay, you have a good internet speed, make sure. I'm not sure, then you can try to join the meeting again. Okay. And Amar, you were asking me for the payment link before the class. I've sent you the PayPal payment link on your email ID. Okay. Yeah. So fine. So this is a public class iPhone, right? And I'll write over here implements phone interface again. So what you'll have to do is that you'll have to add the unimplemented method, and you can post the same thing. Say iPhone calling and iPhone text. So what is the advantage of this kind of implementation? Practically, I had one interface and two classes implemented that interface. Okay, so whatever functions were there in the interface got implemented in both the classes. Right? What is the advantage? I could have made simply two different classes and I could have done that. Why do I need an interface? Okay. Well, the thing is, interface brings up a structure in your application. When you see that the iPhone interface is implementing the phone interface, you'll automatically come to know what kind of functions will be there. Okay, tomorrow if a new phone comes up like Samsung, right? So you know that Samsung will have the call and text functions inside it. Okay, although they can be implemented in a different way, alright, but the structure of the class Samsung will remain same. You got my point? Right? Okay, so if I create a new class known as say test.java, and what I do, don't think of it as a test case or something. Okay, I just created a name like test. Okay, now out here I can create the object of both the classes Firefox driver, oh, sorry, not Firefox drivers, Nokia, n equals to new Nokia, as well as phone, sorry, uh, iPhone, iPhone I equals to new iPhone. Fine. Now I can call the functions Nokia.call, Nokia.text, similarly iPhone.call, iPhone.text. So the function names will remain the same in both the classes. Only thing is, when Nokia calls it, the function for Nokia will be called, and when iPhone calls it, function for iPhone will be called. So when you run this, you will see that it's printing. Fine. The important thing to note is you cannot create the object of an interface. You cannot write phone p equals to new phone. You cannot do that. You cannot create the object of an interface. The reason is obviously interface is something which is not complete. Okay, it is abstract in nature. Fine, it's not got everything inside, it's not got any method or something, it's just like the body structure. So you cannot create the object of the interface. Okay, fine. Now, How does this interface helps us like in Selenium, right? How does it help us in Selenium? Look, if you go to the website, hold on, seleniumhq.org, basically Java docs. Look guys, here and there, every time, I have to go to seleniumhq.org to get the Java docs. You can also import the Java docs in Eclipse. I'll tell you how to do that. Just hold on for some time. So if I look at the Java docs over here, right, these are all the classes. Look, these are all the classes and interfaces which are there in WebDriver. Okay, often people ask me the question like, what is the difference between WebDriver and RC? If you look at RC, okay, if you look at the Java docs of RC, you just can realize the difference by looking at the sheer size of the APIs. Just these many classes were there in Selenium RC. That's it. This is the Java doc for RC. And if you look at the Java doc for WebDriver, so that's huge. Okay, they've included a lot of things. Okay, so if you look at the overview of WebDriver interface, then whatever, sorry, of the WebDriver, right? Whatever is written in italics over here, right, is an interface. For example, mouse. Mouse is an interface. Whatever is written in italics. These are the functions which are present in the interface. Okay, and all the known implementing classes are event firing mouse and HTML unit mouse. So these are the two classes which implement the mouse interface. If you click on event firing mouse, you'll open up that particular class and it will have its functions. So this is how you navigate in the Java docs. Okay, right? So in Java docs everything is mentioned, that this is the interface and these are the classes which implement the interface, these are the functions. You can visit the classes as well, look at them, right? Okay, now if you scroll down, then you will realize that WebDriver is written over here, and WebDriver is nothing but an interface. Technically WebDriver is an interface. Okay, when somebody asks you in an interview that what is WebDriver, then technically WebDriver is an interface. Okay, and it's got all the functions which you can do with the window, with the browser. Close the browser. Find element means find any element on the web page like link, text box or something, right? Get means get to a URL, get the title of the page. Okay, so there are many other functions as well, we'll look at them, but the WebDriver interface is the main starting point of the architecture of Selenium. Okay, and all the other drivers like Android driver, Chrome, event firing, Firefox, HTML unit, iPhone, right, Safari driver, all these driver classes, they implement the WebDriver interface. The way my Nokia and iPhone were implementing the phone interface. Okay, similarly, whosoever made Selenium has made all these classes which implement the WebDriver interface. So what does this mean? This means that whatever functions are there in the WebDriver interface will be present in all these classes. So all these classes are different depending on the browser or the device you're testing on. Fine, but the functions inside these classes will remain same. The structure of all these classes will remain same. Okay, that's the reason. You know, earlier I had on day 2, I had created, hold on, the object of Firefox driver and Chrome driver, everything. I had created the object of Firefox driver and Chrome driver. Okay, And we were seeing that get quit functions could be called with the object of Firefox driver as well, and get and quit functions could be called with the object of Chrome driver as well. This is because both these classes, Firefox driver and Chrome driver, they implement the same interface. Okay, so don't think that Chrome driver will have different set of functions and Firefox driver will have different set of functions. No, they will have the same set of functions because they implement the same interface. Okay, right? Yeah, I'll come over to it. I'll come over to it, Pritam. Yeah. Now, this is simple, right? I think this is pretty simple right now. Okay, right? Now, before I move further, look, there is a way in through which you can import the documentation of Selenium into Eclipse. Let's do that first and then we'll move further. Okay, because every time I have to open the browser and go over here, right? The process is very simple. Okay, this is the javadoc link. Fine, you right click on this link and copy the link location. Copy the link location and go to Eclipse, go to the properties of the project, right? Go to Java build path libraries where you have included all the libraries. Okay, over here you will have Selenium Java 2.35.jar. Okay, expand this jar file. You will have the javadoc location icon over here. Okay, edit it and paste the location and remove index.html from the end. Okay, this is the javadoc location. Remove index.html from the end. Alright, fine. Click on OK and click on OK. That's it. The javadocs will be imported inside the project. Now if you move your mouse over Firefox driver or get function, hold on, it did not come in, just a minute. API Java talks. Hold on. Okay, it's not getting imported. I think there is some problem with my Eclipse. You can try it out, but I do that every day. Okay, this way it should get imported, right? I do it every day. I'm not sure. I'll have to check it out after the class. Yeah, it's come now. Okay, it took some time for Eclipse to absorb. See, if you move your mouse over anything, you will. No. It's coming over for the set property. No, it's not come up. Okay, anyways, I'll have a look at it after the class. But this is how you import the documentation. Probably I have to restart my Eclipse or something because it's been there since a long time. Right. So this is how you can import the documentation as well, and I guess you'll also be able to do that. Fine. Now this is the Firefox driver object and Chrome driver object. Alright. Now coming over to a little bit advanced thing. Okay. Till now I think I added it into day 3. Hold on. Yes. I was looking in day 2 project and I had added it in day 3. Let me copy this code in day 3. Hold on. Yeah, now it will come up. Yes, it's come up now. Actually, I was opening test.java from day 2 and I had added the Java docs in day 3 project. Okay, so this is how Java docs come up. You move your mouse over Firefox driver, you'll see a simple window. You can expand it, you can see what the Firefox driver class does. So this helps a lot at runtime. Okay, at runtime you can dynamically get the information as well. If you click on anything, any link on this Java doc, the documentation opens up inside Eclipse only. and you can directly refer it within Eclipse. Okay, it helps a lot. Right now you might not be feeling it so useful, but it helps a lot. Now you don't have to open the browser again and again. Okay, right? Yeah. Now let's move further. Okay, till now I have created the object of Nokia and iPhone like this individually, and I created the object of phone, and I told you cannot create the object of phone because phone is an interface. Okay, now suppose Nokia or iPhone, suppose it comes up with a new function, say public. Nokia says that fine, I have an implementation, or sorry, iPhone, it says sorry, I have my own implementation of a function, say IMAP. Fine. So this is not there in every phone, this is only there in iPhone. So this is a function which you can say is a local to the class. Okay, and you can write over here iPhone map. So if I write this function inside it, then I can access it with the iPhone object. And obviously I cannot access it from the Nokia object because Nokia has not got the IMAP. You'll get an error over here. Okay, right? Now if I write something like this, phone P equals to new iPhone. Now this is a little different thing. Phone is the interface. I'm giving the interface reference equals to the class which is implementing the interface. Look at the structure of this line. Okay, I'm having the interface reference equals to new class which is implementing the interface. Okay, iPhone is implementing the phone interface. Okay, with this P I can only access the functions inside iPhone which are coming from the phone interface. iPhone has got these three functions: call, text and IMAP. IMAP is something which is an additional functionality in iPhone, but call and text are coming from the phone interface. So when I write like this, I can only access the functions call, text. I cannot access the IMAP function. Okay, when you write like this, you can only access the functions which are coming up from the interface. Okay, similarly, if I see it in Selenium, then WebDriver is an interface. If I write over here WebDriver driver equals to new Firefox driver, I can do that. Okay, but this way you can only access the functions which are there in Firefox driver and coming up from the WebDriver interface. There are hardly any local functions in all the drivers. All the drivers, they implement all the functions in the WebDriver interface. There are hardly any local functions. Okay, so most of the times we write like this, or WebDriver driver equals to, say, driver 1 driver 2 equals to new Chrome driver. Okay, but what is the use? What if I write like this, or what if I write like this? Okay, what is the use? Like how will this thing will help us? Okay, why can't I write something like this only? Okay, right, why do we need to do that? Okay, the reason is that I'll tell you. Hold on, I'll create a new class known as Selenium browsers. Okay, look guys, today I'll not be able to take a class for a longer duration. I have an appointment with the dentist. I had a tooth extraction which never went so good. So just hold on, I'll tell you. Look, if you write like this, WebDriver driver equals to null. What does this mean? This line means that driver is a reference which is not pointing to any browser object right now. Nothing. Neither Firefox, neither Chrome, nothing. It's just hanging in the memory. Okay. Now depending on our requirement, we can make the driver point towards new Firefox driver, or depending on our requirement, we can make the driver point to new Chrome driver or new iDriver, Android driver, anything depending on our requirement. Okay, for example, when we work practically, we will read the browser name from an Excel file, like the browser name is Mozilla. Okay, this will be read from an XLS file. I am just hard coding it. When we work practically, we read it from an XLS or an XML or a property file, whatever it is, from an external source. We read the browser on which we need to test. Okay, then we can keep if conditions, that if the browser name is equal to, sorry, say Mozilla, then initiate Firefox driver. Else if the browser name is equal to, say Chrome, then initialize Chrome driver. And similarly, you can keep on else if conditions like this, whatever you want. Else if the browser name is equal to, say anything, say I, then equate the driver to new Internet Explorer driver. You'll have to obviously add the exes as well. Hold on, I'll add the exe files as well. Chrome driver exe. I'll write this in the very beginning only. iDriver exe. Okay, right? So on the fly, depending on the browser I am testing on, okay, this driver will be initialized. Okay, and once it's initialized, you can use normal functions like driver.get. Get function is there in all the drivers, right? Because all the drivers implement the same interface. Okay, you can keep any website, http, say cnn.com, whatever it is. Okay, and do whatever. Now suppose I have to go to a website and click on link and other elements of the website, I have to interact with them. So we look at them later on, but understand the concept. Depending on the browser I want to test, okay, tomorrow if I want to change the browser on which I want to test, I'll not have to change the code. I can simply change the browser in some external file, and that updated browser will be read over here. Okay, and that will be automatically opened, so I really don't have to do anything, right? So you got my point, right? How interfaces they help us, right? It's very important. That's why, I always ask people to study the concept of object oriented programming first, because this is what object oriented programming is: interfaces, objects, and all that stuff. So people, they do it, they do it in their regular life. They always write a code like this, but some of them, they don't even know why they are writing like this. Okay, so there are a lot of advantages for this. Okay, now how do I detect objects on a web page? There are links, there are elements, there are text boxes, normal text is there on the page, right? So how do we detect that stuff and how do we work with it? Fine, I'll take that up, right? But I'll not take it up today. I'm just taking a class for half an hour. I got an appointment with a dentist today, so I need to leave, right? Yeah, there's a question being asked. We can only access that. Yes, that's the thing. If you do this way, we can only access the methods which are there in the interface and present in the class, implemented in the class. Okay, but you cannot access the local functions of the class. But telling you, like, there are hardly any local functions in these classes. Okay, all of them are coming from the WebDriver interface only. Okay, right. Fine. Alright, I'll send you the recorded session.